Hey, how's it going, guys? This is McCoy Buck, and we're going to go ahead and get started and continue our animation of our dragon walk cycle. So basically yesterday, this is what we did. We got the poses to create our walk cycle, and we were focusing on this leg here, this front leg here, and getting the animation down for that. So we're going to go ahead and continue with where we left off with the back leg. And then hopefully from there what we'll do is we'll work on the arms, getting the wings and offsetting a lot of the animation so that it's not twinning and moving at the same time to make it as close as we can to the original animation. Okay, so basically the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select this first bone here, hit T on the keyboard. I'm going to take a look at my arc. And really quick here, just going to go back to this other animation, select the bone, hit T on the keyboard, check out that arc. Okay, so this one's a little bit different from the front leg. So if I select the front leg, you can see it kind of comes out a little bit further. And so basically I think the animator, basically what they were doing is just going off of the look and not so much the arcs or anything like that. That's kind of what I'm coming to find. So this leg kind of goes up and over and then it goes straight down, rather than this leg going up and over and then going back a little bit. So again, this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 main points here on that passing. So this is the leg that we're focusing on right now with this bone that's highlighted. And I want to come up to about this point right here. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to create a keyframe. And I'm going to come to this point right here. I'm going to go ahead and delete this because I basically think that this was the main pose that we want to get for the passing position. And then it looks like right about in here somewhere, have the leg come about there. Again, we want to focus on the spacing. So we want the leg to slap down on the ground. So there's there's actually a large amount of spacing between those two poses to get that slapping rather than it just floating down. So we're going to work on getting the same type of results as well. So in order to do that, what I need to do is I need to slide this position over. So we have that effect. And yeah, and then this is just from the frame on frame 0. So basically, now we should have an effect of the legs kind of slapping down. Okay, I think the spacing can be a little bit more extreme. So let's go ahead and let's lift that up just a tiny bit more. We'll move that forward just a tiny bit more as well. And I think it looks pretty good. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that that bone that we just were working with has absolutely no rotation, because a lot of the rotation that we're going to be doing is with the toes. So making sure that there's no rotation, that there's only just translation, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the rotation channel, and I'm going to delete the rotation, and the scale, I'm going to delete the scale. It has absolutely no scaling. And then with that same bone, when the leg picks up, those bones are going to move for that toe, kind of back towards the direction of the ground of where it's picking up from. I want to make sure that I'm not making it go through the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those bones that I just created keyframes for, and I'm going to select those bones, and then I'm going to pull them back closer to this other position. There. And then when it's coming over to the top of this walk cycle, before they drop down, at this point I'm still going to have them basically curved, so they could be curved down. But then as it begins to drop, I want to open those bones, kind of extend them to a more extreme position so that it can really really exaggerate that slapping down of the foot. So I'm going to pull them back a little bit more. Oops, not that bone. So right about there. Then as it hits the ground, we're going to come back around. So this is a cycle. So now in order to get back to there, I'm going to go back to frame 1 here. And after it hits the ground, so after it slaps down into the ground, I'm going to have the toes. I'm going to give myself about a frame, not 2 frames. So let's see, 1, 2. So I'm going to give myself about a frame. I'm going to have the toes go up, the back toe go up. And then as it's going forward, it's going to settle back into those resting positions. And in order to get the exact position, the default position for those toes, I'm just going to go ahead and copy the rotation on frame 1. So now this is the result I have. Okay. So now I think for the toes, I can have them go up just a little bit more as far as this toe here. And then as far as offsetting them, I can have this toe, I can have it go down before the bigger toe. Okay, so we kind of have that motion now. All right, so I think for the most part, we kind of have that motion as far as what we're looking for. The up and down motion, it still feels a little bit rigid. So we're going to go to what controls the up and down motion, which is this root bone right here. And I'm going to take a look at the up and down. So there's down, there's up. Got a couple of bones going in there, so let's go ahead and let's take that out. I don't know what that is actually controlling, to be quite honest. So I'm just going to delete that. Okay. All right. Now this up and down motion, in order to get it a lot smoother, there's 1 or 2 ways that I can do this. I can do this manually by just looking at basically how this motion is going. So as it's going down, it's kind of a little bit rigid, and to give it some nice smooth motion of it going up and down, I can go ahead and change these into Bezier handles. Go into my motion graph, and right now it's pretty close to smooth, but what I want to do is just smooth this out just a tiny bit more. So I'm gonna zoom in, and these curves right here, I want to get a nice S curve, so it's going to go smooth going down and smooth going in. So it's going to be holding. So basically what this is showing is this is holding that position just a little bit longer. I'm going to make sure that those snap into place there. Okay, so now I should have a much smoother motion of this going up and down. And as you can see here, because this is basically, let's see, the green I think represents our y-axis. You can see as far as the dip down here, it doesn't dip down quite as far there. And that's just going to kind of give us some variation with our animation. And if I play this back, you can kind of see it's a little bit smoother now with that dipping down. It looks a lot better. All right, so we can go back to my channels and just zoom out here and just play this out. Okay. Now the one thing that I want to fix that I noticed that I got like kind of a little trick from Victor is the motion of the foot going across to about this point here. So that, I don't know what this keyframe's for. Oh, that's the passing position when we created a frozen keyframe. But I'm just going to go ahead and take that out because it doesn't need to be there. And I'm going to create this as a linear. So now it'll go linear. It won't have any smooth motion on it. It'll just be linear. And just kind of glide right along there without any sort of slow-ins or slow-outs. I'm going to do the same with this foot here. So as it comes back around, it's going to make contact right there. And then all of this right there in the middle, because this is just the translation, I can take that out and I can create this channel as linear. There we go. So that's looking a little bit better there. All right, cool. So now we're starting to get past this legs part here. The next part that I want to focus on is these wings. I want to offset them a little bit as well. So as you can see, they're kind of squishing down as he's pushing down, and it looks weird. Doesn't really match right with like how the steps, how the dragon is stepping or walking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select both of the wings, but we'll just start with one. So as the dragon's going down, I'm gonna hold that stretch. I'm gonna have it go down just a slightly, whoops, I forgot that it's actually this bone right here. I'm gonna have it go down slightly more if I can. So it's gonna hold that pose for just a little bit longer there. And then as it's going back down from that up position, it's gonna hold that pose slightly a bit longer as well. Okay, gotta figure out what this pose is really quick. So that's it, going back down. So down, up, down, and up. Is gonna be holding for a little bit longer there. Okay, so we definitely need to offset that a lot more. This is what I'm finding here. So what I need to do is I need to fix the timing. So as the bone here, it's this one right here, looking at the rotation, so basically I don't want there to be any rotation till about after that contact, after it goes down. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this out. So the wings are gonna fold down after it pushes down a little bit on the ground. So let's see what that looks like. And I don't want these wings to lift up yet, so I'm going to hold their down position for a little bit longer, probably till about here. And then when the character goes up, oops. So there's a little bit of a double bounce there. I have to figure out what's going on there. Oh, it's a little delayed. So I'm going to move that in just a little bit more, a little bit closer there. Let me check really quick to see what Victor did with his. He has them kind of moving at the same time. I think mine's definitely a lot more extreme. So let's take down the extremity of how far down it's going. So to get the exact numbers, I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and here to the value. So we'll do 88. We're going to copy and paste to there. So it's going to hold. And I think that'll make it look a lot better. So it's going to go up, and then the body's going to go down, so that should be holding. So let's find the furthest down position. So it's right here. So I'm going to delete all those. Oops, wrong one. Delete that one. So up. Okay. Up, down. Okay, so I need to hold this slightly longer. So I'm going to pull this back, and I'm going to paste this about here. A little bit too quick there. think there's, whoops, I think there's just too much motion going down. So I really need to fix that. So this should be probably 87. Still quite a bit of motion going on there. So that's 80. Okay, so that's 88. Let's keep that about the same then. So 88. Okay, so I notice it's a little bit too delayed. So I'm just gonna move these keyframes over about 1 to 2 frames just to see where it looks good. So there's a pretty long hold. So what I'm gonna do, it's very difficult with this rotation. There's kind of a lot. So I'm gonna put it at 88.5. So that way it's still slightly moving up forward. And it's gonna get to the top here. Gonna need to offset that just slightly more. Okay, so I'm kind of liking the way that first part's looking. This is not happening fast enough as far as the down position. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete that keyframe out. So this goes from up, back to down, back to up again. It's a very weird wing movement. I'm not really sure. I gotta see what the values are of these wings because I think I'm moving them way too far down. Oh, whoa, 257. Oh, wait, oops, this is the one. All right, so yeah, I think he's moving a lot. So 89 to 88 to 87. So he's still around 89 and 80, 88, pretty close. So let's fix that. So we got about 90, 88, 89, 88, okay. So I'm not going down quite extreme, but yet. Oh, I see. Okay, so right now he just has a cycle. So he has the default position, a down position. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that's probably the better way to do that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do what he's got there. So with that rotation, I'm just gonna delete that. So the rotation, the angle is gonna be there at 90. And then right about here, I gotta figure out what's that value. 87. I'm just gonna copy the value. Okay. And then let's see where it's going up. So 90, 87, and then this should be 90 again. Yeah, it is 90. Okay. So it's about 2 keyframes right before it starts going down again. So it goes up. So probably right about there. So 90. And then what he does is he has this cycle through. Let me just make sure I got that right. I wonder if it's because I added Bezier to my root bone. So this, oh, he does have some Bezier. Let's see what he's doing for the motion graph. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, so his doesn't actually hold kind of goes back down, and then there's a slight slowing out at that top. No. Okay, he's just got the Bezier and the 2 keyframes there. So if I go back to here, it's kind of got it like this. But yet his Y are exactly the same distance down. Yeah. So we'll just keep it like that. So now mine should be flowing a little bit better. Yep, it is. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, I was trying to do my own thing there, but obviously don't fix what's broken. Don't fix what's not broken. It's been a long day. All right, so now let's see. So now we can do the tail. It's quite a bit going on there. Looks pretty cool. Wow. So let's take a look at the bones. There's a lot of bones for this tail. It looks like... Oh, wow. Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on with this tail. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be where the majority of the work's going to take place, is in this tail. So he has the tail, the base of this tail, going up and then quickly bouncing back at the beginning. So right there at that passing position. Okay, so the tail is, let me get the kind of the beat. So the steps are boom, 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 boom. And the tail is boom, 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 boom. I would clap it out, but I don't think it's gonna be too loud for the mic. So that's kind of why I look a little silly there. Okay, so for this tail, it's gonna be boom, 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 boom. So every 2 steps, it's moving. For every 1 step, it moves twice. So I need to make sure I'm able to get the timing right first off. So I know as the tail as he's going down, the tail is kind of going, I don't know how far the tail actually is going. And then it's going to quickly, let's see, is it on the contact that it goes back? Yeah. So on the contact is when the tail goes back. So boom, and the tail will go back about here. Okay, that makes sense. So the tail goes back, and then I'm going to space this out again to right about there, and then the tail's going to go back again. Okay, so that's what the base of the tail is going to look like. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit Control F, Control F, Control F, Control F, and Control F. Now what this is going to do, it's going to create a keyframe for all the bones, but right now I'm trying to get all the bones for the tail. And then what I'll do is to kind of figure out how this tail works. I think one of the tricks that you can do is you can grab the tail. Let's see, we got a couple of extra bones here. Let's see what's going on. Take these out. Okay, so you can grab the tail, all these bones, or all these keyframes rather, and you can move them up. So it's going to offset the motion. So now we got a little bit of a bounce because now we offset them moving at the same time. We offset the one tail so that the other one, I want to just make sure I'm leading. Well, let's see if he's leading with that heavier part or with the tail itself. Yeah, it's leading with the tail itself. So the base is leading. Oh, that's a tricky stinking thing there with that curly tail. But that looks about right. I might need to take down the extremes, but if I play this out, so this tail right here, this bone, let's go ahead and hide our character so I can see this better. Yeah, so this, let's go back to this bone. It's very hard to see where this is going. Let me see if I can mute. If I can mute this bone, this is going to be really helpful. Mute the translation. There we go. Perfect. Okay, this is going to help a ton now. All right. So just looking at this tail now. Okay, see that? See how this tail is kind of leading? I think the offset is too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back and I'm going to grab those keys and put them back. And I'm just going to kind of do it manually. So right about here, technically, this tail would already kind of be snapped back. Then as it gets to this position, still be snapped back a little bit. And it goes forward the other way. It's not going to be quite extreme. Wait. Okay. I think actually the tail's going to be like that. Nope. Hold on. I think I'm getting confused now. Let's see. So the tail's going to go down. And the tail's going to snap. It's probably about there is when it should be snapping, actually. Probably not so soon. Because it's kind of got to get this effect. So my best guess. I kind of want that snapping, but I don't think it's going to be quite so extreme. But I want this motion over here. So doom. Okay, let's copy this last keyframe here. Whoops. Just copy all these tailbones. Hit Control F, and then copy it to the front here. Okay, so now that's the next part that I need to figure out is, let's take this out. Oh, I see. Okay. So it's kind of pulling. So this bone is pulling the rest of these other bones. Yeah. Okay. So this right here is kind of where it's going to get really tricky. So wow, that's going to be really difficult. Let me just see how he breaks down the rotation. So it's pulling up, then back. Man, it's almost like a slinky as far as that rotation. Let me first see if this was done manually or with bone constraints. Nope. Yeah, no, this doesn't have any bone dynamics. It has keyframes, duh. Wow, what a crazy... There's so many bones. There's so much going on right there. So let me just make sure I get my poses right again. So he's got his first pose there. So let's just match our poses again. So that first pose is about there. Then about 5 keyframes in, it's moving here. And everything else is kind of following. So this bone. So that's on frame 8. Okay, so... Oh, that's what I had there. Whoops. Wait. Okay, I think this is where I'm messing it up, is I'm moving this tail way too fast. Okay, so it's not till frame 14 is when the tail is going back down, so I need to fix my timing. So the tail's going up and then back down on around 14. There we go. And then I guess I got a little confused on the timing of that. So the tail goes down. It's going to go up again. Okay, there we go. Oops, let's make sure we're going up in the same amount. Oops. So there and there. Yeah, that's the same amount. Man, that's crazy. Do each of these bones have... Wow. There's definitely a science to this. I know he takes and he offsets his keyframes, but I don't know how he figures out how much he needs to offset them by. So I'm just going to kind of do it manually a little bit here. Oops. And then basically, all of those are going to stay kind of in the same place. Then this position, they kind of shoot out a little bit. Oops, not that much. And then bounce. That's crazy. There's so much going on with this tail. It's not even bouncing down. It's like bouncing outwards. All right, let's bring back the... Wow. So it's going out this way. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this perfect because there's just too much overlapping action. I don't really quite understand what's happening within that overlapping action. There's so much information. Let's go ahead and let's bring the let's move this up. Oops. Come on. Let's move this up. Yeah, I don't know if I can get that. That's just, there's just a lot. I don't really know. So somewhere about here is where that second action is going to be occurring as far as the tail shooting out. Come on. No, so this oops, this curves in. So it goes boop, boop, oops. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. So that last action that I made, I want it somewhat close to that end action. Oops. Wrong thing there. So they need a bone group so bad. Bone groups would be very helpful. But copy, paste. Okay, there we go. That's kind of what I was looking for. Okay, so now I can copy those bones to that beginning. I think, whoa. Oh, I'd never go back up that high again, okay. So let's take it down a notch. Whoops. Looks like we got some extra keyframes there. Gotta figure out what's going on. Okay, yeah, so I need to go up higher then. So this kind of goes up higher. And these kind of curl closer. Okay. Kind of, sort of what Victor's got. I think the movement is just a little bit too drastic. There's a lot of snap on that tail. And it's because it's too far forward. This one's definitely a lot more dangly, a lot more loose. So let's work on the in-between. So I'm going to take a look at this right here. Oops. So again, this in-between right about here. Kind of break that a little bit. And then, so this bone, so that goes up, then goes down. Oh, whoa, I'm holding that for a really long time. So it goes down, So I think this doesn't need to be there. So this goes up and then down and then up. Let's again take this rotation, we'll freeze it. Whoops, not the rotation. We'll take the translation, we'll freeze it. We'll move our things out of the way so we can just see our bones. Same thing. We're going to hold our translation. Interesting. Okay. So this is going to be dragging. And then as it goes down, this could be kind of go towards Oh, I got way too many frames over here, that's why. So this is going up. It's going up. I'm having it go back way too soon. Oh, my phone, my keyframe's not there. Whoa, what the heck? What happened? So this is going there. That should be. Ooh, okay. Now I see where my mistake is. It's going down, then up, then down, up. So it's not going up all the way. It's cycling back, and then it continues its up, going up. Okay, so again, this is there. It's going up, down, up, down. How soon is it going up? Okay, that's what I gotta figure out. Frame 21. 21, it's going up. Then it's going down. Frame 30. Okay, so I was missing my down position. Frame 30. Just make sure we get this right. So this is going to be, I think it's this pose. Yep. So I don't think, if I go looking at the angle there, that's 235. That's 235. Okay, so these are exactly the same. This is 249 and 249. Oh, 253, okay. Let's fix that a little bit there. 249 and then up. Probably not as extreme. So 263. And then this is going to be the exact same, 249. So up, down, and then up. Okay, that's looking a little bit better as far as that one bone there. figure out how to get that going the other way there. Oh, whoops. I have too many frames for one. Take those frames out. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to take all these bones and I'm just going to delete those keyframes because that's getting all sorts of messed up there. Okay, so all this is just going to be dragging. Let's get to this position. And then this is going to kind of move forward. And then this is going to move back down. It's probably a little bit too... What is this? I don't know what that is. Oops. Oh, it's supposed to be the break there. Okay, sorry guys, I was missing the comments here. I didn't know anybody who was watching. Notorious asked, what's best for cutout, Moho or Toon Boom? Moho. Vector backgrounds in Moho Illustration or paint in Photoshop? It depends. It's just style. And Murad, hey man, thanks for joining. Is there any connection between the tail and neck bone? No, there's not. So these, if you look at the parenting, the tail goes to the pelvis and then to the root bone. The neck goes all the way down to the pelvis and to the root bone. So there's a disconnect. There's a breaking of those chains. And it looks like physics forces. No, it was manually done with the animation. It's a very complex animation. And I'm pretty sure there's a technical side to it that Victor was able to figure out, as far as he knew to create his frames and then offset them a certain way, which my guess is it just comes with experience, because I have no idea. So this is what I have so far. Let's see. So yeah. So this bone is just a little too much there. Need to bring it back the other way. Just a tiny bit. I don't know. So that's what I got so far. I can't figure out how he's got it to go. He's got it going up and down, but yet the bone itself looks like it's pulling out almost to the side there. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, I don't think these bones are moving much. So this is just dangling. All right, I'm going to keep that in mind. So I'll just pretend that those one bones there are just dangling there. Let's see if that helps me to kind of figure this out. So if this was separate, if this was just like a straight tree branch or something, and this was a dangling piece, what would this look like as it's bouncing back and forth? So come over to here. And my guess, let's see, this is gonna be tricky. So I'm gonna first just gonna take out all the keyframes. Oh, there isn't any, okay. Control F, create my first set. So with these, I'm gonna imagine there's gonna be a little bit of drag. Hold down Alt, just make sure I only alter these set of bones, not too far. Okay, so there'd be a little bit of drag there. And then as it bounces back the other way, I imagine that these would be pulling back the other way. So tighten up, this would kind of go out, but these would kind of go in closer. Let's make that more drastic. I don't think it's drastic enough. So out and then in. So let's bring that in. Well, actually, so we're pulling this out. Let's bring this in a little bit more. This, whoops, this would kind of go out. It's dragging the other way. So boom, boom. So this would probably go, oh, this is hard. All right, so this would go here. Wait, so it's going back the other direction, right? Oh, we got our thing curving here. Let's make sure we get our first set of keyframes for these bones. Gonna paste it to the end so that doesn't move around a lot. So it's gonna go that way. Let's move this rotation in. Yeah, no, that was kind of good where it was. So these are gonna separate. So man, that is really a tricky thing to figure out. Poop, then in. So I think it goes about in about here. I don't know. I can't figure it out. It's got. It's like a yo-yo with your hand, almost. It's kind of what I'm getting from this. Oh, weird. Okay, I'm doing it in the opposite direction. Feels like. So as it's going down. Okay, as it's going down, this is actually closer. Then as it's going up, it's dragging. So take, oops, those bones out. Yeah, I think that's about right. Kind of something like that. I can't figure out how to get it though. It's something close to that. It's very difficult. That's probably as much as I can get right now. All right, so we'll just hit play. I kind of got a little bit of it, not a lot. There's, I can't tell, but it still feels like there's a weird motion going on with this tail. It's snapping. Yeah, right here. It's snapping up really, really quick. So my spacing's off. So I'm just going to fix that really quick here. So I think it's this bone maybe. No, it's this bone right here. So let's pull that back. There we go. That's a little bit more smoother. Okay. All right. So we got our wings. That's going to be on a cycle. We got the tail. We got the legs. Next thing is to figure out the arms. How we're going to do that. Just take a look at the skeleton. So they almost don't even move, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Huh, okay. Let's bring that back. There's a slight bit of translating on the arms. But other than that, it's just kind of more overlap, so it's... Okay. So it's there. All right, so there's some spacing on these arms that I got to figure out. So my guess is the arms are probably to like right about here. Delete all this. It's almost like they're right in the middle. So right in the middle, right about here, and then they move back and then they move forward. Not really too much to them. Yeah. Same thing. So with this other arm over here, let's figure out where the middle is. So it comes out about right there. Delete all these. So right about here. Okay. So it's a very little simple motion. I don't know if I have it 100%, but I'll get a better idea once I add some overlap with the arms. So I'm gonna go back to the arms really quick. So let's see where they're going, like high up into the air. Okay, so there's a little bit of a overlapping as well for the so it's as the body's picking itself up. So let me see what that is. Okay, so and then he's got it going like this with the two arms. So there's about 3 or 4 frames separating those two arms. So what I'm going to do is probably right about here. I'm going to create a frozen frame. And then the arm, let's kind of just match it there. Go a little bit up. I don't remember if there was individual bones. Let's show all bones. There they are. Oops. Nope, don't want to move the hand, want to move the bones. Come on. All right, let's focus on just these arms. Delete anything that we don't need. So we got a bunch of keyframes, so delete all those. Oops. Let's go back one. Delete all those. Do a Control F. Delete those. Delete those. And I'll delete all those. Those don't do anything. All right, so and then on the stomp, I think on each stomp it goes down. Body's going down, up, down. Okay. If I stop talking, it's kind of like where I'm more focusing on what I'm trying to do here. Oh wait, what the heck? I have no idea why I have cycles here or keyframes. dang it. There's so many bones. Trying to get all your keyframes to line up with so many bones is the most difficult thing. Oops. So the up, as far as how high I'm bringing the arm up, it's just not working. That's working a lot better. Grab all those bones again. Now that we're getting a little crazy here. Grab all those bones. Repeat them here. And then this, right about here, are going to be these frames. Wait a second. Up, down. Not quite. Let's kind of have his fingers open a little bit here. And then as they go down to this position here, they are kind of closing. So up, down. Raise the fingers up here. Oops, not that. Whoa, whoa, what the heck? That finger's going too high. Kinda. Oops, which finger am I looking at? Oh, I can't tell which one is which. Okay, so that's the big finger. And that one, most of these I don't want them high up. All right, so something's popping. Oh, it's the actual, oops. It's the actual contact position. Copy that over there. Whoa. So many bones. So many freaking bones. Okay. Rotate there. Oh no, what the heck? Oh. Did I copy the wrong? Oh, I did. I copied. Wait. This pose to here. Oh, okay. Well. This is technically the fingers that I want for this position. Then it goes, okay. Okay, so it's these positions that I want. Oops. This, and this. Copy, paste, and paste. What the heck? Why aren't the fingers moving? Do some overlap maybe. Okay, I gotta take a look at the regular pose. Getting confused. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh. 1, 2. Okay, my timing got messed up. I think I wasn't keeping track of my keyframes or something. Let's try that again. So down. So we'll say about here. So down. So here. Down. Up. That's basically going up by itself. So, oh. So down. Up. Down. Is that right? All right, it's the same thing for the other side. So we'll do them at the exact same time and then we'll offset it. So I'm gonna select those keyframes first. Just go ahead and delete them out. Copy that end. Whoops. Copy the end here. So we're gonna go down, down, up, and down. So down, up, down, halfway up, down, halfway up. Okay. So down, up, down. Okay. So this, I think he had the first arm lead, the next arm follow. So then these keyframes would just basically be pushed 1, 2, oops, 1, 2, 3, 3, copy, paste. Probably offset them a little bit more. Wait a second. Yeah. So the translation on that one bone, on that shoulder here, it's coming out way too far. Gotta push that back in a bit. Delete that. Okay. Okay, so the offset is really off now because it's going up with the body, which I don't want to do. I'll just lead it going the other way. That's fine. So I'll have that leading. And then to here. Ugh, those bones, man. Dang it to heck. Okay, so this, and this. We're going to take all of those rotations out for the fingers. Just make sure we have the first set correct and the last set the exact same. It's almost as if you want it to look like a traditional, especially yeah, no, this is I mean, I think either way, you'd still be able to get this done a lot quicker in Moho than traditional animation. But as far as getting it right, yeah, it's a tricky process for sure. All right, so I'm gonna have the fingers kind of close together, and then those are dropping. Whoops, going to be a little bit further apart there. And drop down once more. Whoa, what? Oops. The heck? Did not want that. Let's just keep these guys together a little bit better. There we go. Copy all of those. Paste that. Nope. Why didn't that paste properly? Rotation. There we go. So there we got the arm. That arm at least. I think that looks okay. But this is more going like down. Mine's like pulling up. So I'm doing something wrong. Let's see. I got my timing off. All right. Huh. Okay, so mine's the opposite of what that is. Yeah, let's work on the neck. I think that's a pretty important part that I'm kind of getting thrown off by. Okay, so I have to figure out now what's going on with this neck. So there's some squash and stretch. So on the squash down. Okay, so I can do that. Take all my keyframes out. Paste the same ones to the end. Copy and paste. All right, so there's some, let's see, squash here. Whoops. Wait a second. Oh, wow. Okay. That's going to be tricky. Man, how do you figure this stuff out? Yeah. Okay, so the bone constraint, squash and stretch scaling. That's why there is squash and stretch scaling. Oh, mine has squash and stretch scaling as well. So let's see what the what do you call it? The scale is. So 1 to 8. So 1 to 8. So before it starts to break, and then it's gonna go back to. It goes step down, step, and then he has that cycle, and then he's got the next set. Break all those. Step. That is squashing. And whoops. And it gets reset on the next contact. And then he has that pulled over so that it scales separate. I think he had it on frame. Starting on frame 5. So I'm just gonna go ahead and create a cycle. Is it repeating the same keyframe? No. Oh, whoops! I deleted my other one too. Wait a second, how does that work? Oh, I did the rotation. Whoops, I meant to do the scale. I was wondering what was going on there. Okay. Shoot. Oh, I messed up a few things. Okay, so the neck is there on the squash. It's back, and then it stretches back forward again. So squash. Back about there. Oh no, we still had that, I think. Is that what that is? Nope. I don't know what that is, so I'll just go ahead and delete that. Delete that. Delete all these neck positions actually. Let's do this. I need to have this there, and I'll focus on this here. Oh, not that. You really cannot see a difference with that squash. Let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So hopefully I did this right. So the offset between these two bones, oops, needs to be a little bit more than that. It's going down. It's there. Oops. I think I'm missing a frame there. There's a pop going on in that head bounce. I can't figure out what that is exactly. So many keyframes. Frick. Murad asks, what style of cartoons can Moho do? Style? Any style. As far as what actions? Like really, yeah, you can do anything with point animation, because then basically you could draw out what you want on paper and then move all your points to it. I just met with Tom Roth today. He's a retired Disney animator. Excuse me. Sorry. But anyway, he does things traditionally. He draws things out traditionally, and then he moves things with points. So he uses point animation. Now, as far as using bones to do foreshortening and all sorts of crazy things, no, it's not quite there yet. Again, just looking at things like the best example is the what's it called? Puffin Rock is probably your best example to know right now what people are capable of doing with the software. So yeah, so I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. I don't know. I can't think of the best way to explain it. It's, if you think of it as cutout animation software, then that's basically what it is. And I know people don't like referring to that or puppet animation, but whatever. That's what it is. You can't do a full range of animation like you would if you're drawing it out freehand. That's just kind of the truth of it, really. And that's not a bad thing. because a lot of people that use the software are hobbyists and they don't know how to do those things in the first place. Most people that pick up this software don't even know how to animate, which is why I do the tutorials and show the rigging and all the different steps so that you can get to that point, basically. So yeah, hopefully that answers that question. I don't know what the anime Violet Every Garden is. I don't know what that is. But as far as 2D Disney animation, no, it cannot. Traditional animation is the only thing that's going to allow you to get to do that type of stuff. Again, with bones. But if you're doing point to point animation, yes, you're basically capable of doing all things. As far as the style, though, with colors and gradients, it's not quite there yet with Moho. It's getting there. But as far as gradients and it's more simplified styles like the one that you see here. This is all vector. There's quite a bit going on, especially like here in the nose and everything. But you got to realize these are just layers layered on top of one another. This is textures. There's a couple paint textures that you can use, but yeah, hopefully that answers that question there. But as far as where we're at so far, I think I want to figure out what the heck is popping. I cannot figure out what's... So here, there. Like there's something popping and I can't figure out. It's this. There's something popping down here. Oh. Derp. Gosh, it's so annoying. So let me select all these bones once again. So I'm basically at a stopping point. I think we did quite a bit. We kind of got didn't really get the tail exactly as the original animation, but pretty close, which I think is pretty good. I'm not gonna save that. But yeah, I mean, we'll continue working on it just little bits at a time. There's only so much I can do in a stream. But yeah, this is basically what we got so far. So we got our legs walking. We got I don't think I completely finished up the arms. Got the wings, got the tail, which we focused on probably the most. But yeah, I think overall have some pretty good progress on this animation. But that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this live stream. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for joining me. These live streams are helpful. It's very difficult because it's definitely a lot different than my video courses. You see a lot of the mistakes and a lot of things that I try to figure out that in my video courses would have been cut out or have figured out before with the planning. So this is kind of like definitely like a lot of the raw me. You'll see me get frustrated. You'll see me get kind of confused, testing things. Like basically through these live streams, you get to see who I am as a person, which I think is beneficial to you. Yeah, for knowing if I'm real enough or not. If I'm real, I don't know. But yeah, I really enjoy these streams. It's cool to show you my process. Hopefully it's helpful for some of you. Sometimes I just kind of got to focus and just kind of figure out what it is I'm doing. I can't really talk and do it at the same time. So at times there's going to be silence, but overall, I always try to explain my process and what it is that I'm doing. But again, as always, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure and subscribe. If you're watching this sometime in the future, also be sure to leave a comment and let me know what you think, what you'd like to see other streams on, as long as it's realistic. If you know you can't animate really Disney animation cartoons, I can't either. Like some of the requests out there, they're a little bit out there as far as like, hey, show us how to do a Disney animation. even if I did, you're not going to even know what to do, because just simply because you're asking how do you do a Disney animation tells me right off the bat that it's usually a hobbyist or amateurish kind of question that gets asked a lot. And I guess if people want to see the process, that would be cool, but I don't know. It's just kind of, you got to start from the basics. So if you haven't yet, be sure to pre-order the course. You can find my link in the description. It's right there, mccoy.podia.com. And sign up for my pre-order the course, The 12 Principles to Animation, because then from there, you're going to understand how to do kind of advanced animations like we're doing here with this dragon, and kind of be able to figure out what you want to do with your own animations. So yeah, that's basically it for me. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.